Baby, it's revelations for a lot of motherfuckers during this time. And as you can see with your own eyes, you can see where this is headed. So during these times, it is highly important to basically make sure you have a strong mind, a strong membrane, and of course, a strong spirit. Because only most gonna fumble, only most gonna fold. But what's important is basically putting yourself into a situation where you're climbing ladders, building bridges, and building certain characteristics and blockages that make sure these things don't bend over or break over that easily. You got to be very aware and very curious, and of course, you got to have discernment and you got to see through things. It's not really hard for you to basically get off task about these things, but these things are kind of like right in your face. So you have to have a high perspective, and also you got to be on the outside looking in. Never put yourself into situations of doing something out of your free will. And of course, if it's in your best interest, it would have had to be basically forced in your face to basically make you do things that's uncomfortable situations. So you got to always make sure you are protecting your safe haven. You got to make sure that you're putting yourself into a situation of not folding under pressure, no matter what the circumstances and situations is. It's always going to be storms. It's always going to be clouds. It's always going to be rain. Of course, there's always going to be sunny days. But you got to learn how to basically utilize manipulation. You gotta like learn how to control the weather. You gotta make sure that these weather's patterns are not sunking you up like a 360 tornado or a hurricane. You gotta make sure that you're basically putting yourself into situations of having every protection shield, every protection armor. You gotta basically be willing to basically throw that goddamn bomb in the ocean. You gotta be willing to blow shit up. You gotta be willing to basically make sure that ocean, that wave flow into another distance. You got to make sure that you having a sunny day. You got to make sure that day is sunny. You got to make sure you smiling throughout that sunny day. You got to make sure that you rising above all those ashes, all those phoenixes, all those perspectives that's basically holding you down, keeping you stagnated. You got to make sure that you're getting up that haven, that ladder every single day. You got to basically make sure your head is high every day. You got to make sure you ain't basically going down there too deep. You don't want to be down there with the sharks. You don't want to be down there with the leeches. You want to make sure you're up top. You want to make sure you're a sea creature. You want to be the crab. You want to come on the surface. You want to basically be able to go into the beach. You want to be able to chill. You want to be able to relax. You want to be able to put yourself into a situation where you got to think twice about things. You want to always be putting yourself into a situation where you're comfort, when you're secure, and of course when you're ahead of the game, when you're ahead of your time. And you want to make sure that you're utilizing your time for the right perspectives. You want to make sure that you're putting yourself into the right segments, the right hemispheres, the right horizons. You don't want to basically put yourself underneath the horizon, because if you're underneath the horizon, you won't be able to actually get to the mountaintop, and you got to always keep climbing the mountain.